Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing whether or not you should be pulling for Fuxuan, as the banners are going to be rotating in about less than a day. So I just wanted to make this video in order to better inform you guys. That way you guys can make a better decision on whether this banner is one that you should pull on or skip. Now, in this situation, Fuxuan is coming out around the same time as Boot Hill, which can make it a little bit difficult for her, as she is tied with a really great unit to pull for. Now, this isn't going to be a video on whether or not you should pull for Boot Hill. This is going to be about Fuxuan, so keep an eye out for that video, as I'll probably be uploading that a little bit after this one. Now, in terms of Fuxuan, do I believe you should pull for her? That depends on the state of your account, as always. If your account seems to be lacking preservation units or just survivability in general, in terms of either Pure Fiction or Forgotten Hall, any of the other modes, then definitely reanalyze what units you have and try to see if you have any other preservation units, or if not, then you should definitely pull for Fuxuan, as she's going to be a great unit, and we'll be getting into her kit shortly. But if you already have preservation units such as Adventuring, it may not be as necessary because Adventuring is really great, and if you have another sustain unit for your second team, you won't need to build another preservation unit, as that will just be over investing into preservation when you could be investing into a DPS for different modes that are coming in the future, such as Boot Hill for single target. Now, for those of you who are already lacking a preservation unit and know you're going to pull for Fuxuan or just want to pull for her in general, the rest of this video is going to be for you, as now we're going to be discussing her builds and her best light cones. Starting with her light cones, obviously her first one is going to be She Already Shut Her Eyes. That's going to be her signature light cone. This light cone is Fuxuan's signature light cone. It provides the wearer max HP by 24% and energy regeneration by 12%. When the wearer's HP is reduced, all allies' damage dealt increases by 9% for 2 turns. At the start of every wave, restores HP to all allies by an amount equal to 80% of their respective lost HP. Now, this is going to be great with Fuxuan, as the synergy works really well, because for every 2 turns, start of every wave, she's going to be restoring HP to her allies based on the amount of HP they lose. This is going to be her best in-slot light cone, but if you can't pull for this one, you can also use Moment of Victory. This is going to be Japard's light cone. This one increases the wearer's defense by 24% and effect hit rate by 24. Also increases the chance for the wearer to be attacked, so it gives you a taunt. And when the wearer is attacked, it increases their defense by 24% until the end of the wearer's turn. This is also a great alternative light cone. If not, there's the Her to Store light cone, which is Texture of Memories. There's also Day 1 of My New Life, Landau's Choice, and We Are Wildfire for those of you who are free to play. Now, if you are severely struggling in terms of light cones and you need a good free to play alternative that's not a 4-star or a 5-star, then a good alternative will also be the 3-star light cone defense for those of you in need. Now, moving on, let's discuss Fuxuan's Planar set and her relics. So if you do pull for Fuxuan in terms of her relics, we're going to be building her with a 2-piece Longevous Disciple and 2-piece Guard of Wuthering Snow. Now, the reason we're going to be doing this is because the 2-piece Longevous is going to go ahead and provide you with an increase of max HP by 12%. This is going to help with her HP scaling. And then we're going to be doing Guard of Wuthering Snow because it reduces damage taken by 8%, so it'll help her take less damage and help her survivability. Now, moving on, we're going to be discussing her Planar set. The best one's going to be Broken Keel, as it increases the wearer's effect res by 10%, and when the wearer's effect res is at 30% or higher, all allies' crit damage will be increased by 10%. This allows her to get effect resistance so that she's not stunned, and apart from that, it helps her to provide damage to your team. It also helps her to provide crit damage to your team. Now, if you don't have Broken Keel, you could also build her with Fleet of the Ageless. This increases the wearer's max HP by 12%, and when the wearer's speed reaches 120 or higher, all allies' attack is increased by 8%. Now, if you're going to be building her with Fleet of the Ageless, you are going to need speed build, so you're going to need to speed tune your Fuxuan. Now, in terms of main stats and substats, you're going to be prioritizing HP with speed and effect res. For her rope, you're going to want energy regen or HP. Her sphere, you're going to want HP. Her feet are going to be either speed or HP, and her body is also going to be HP. And once again, she scales mainly off of her HP stat. Next, we'll be diving into Fuxuan's kit. Starting with her skill, it's going to activate her Matrix of Prescience, via which other team members will distribute 65% of the damage they receive to Fuxuan for 3 turns. While activated by Matrix of Prescience, all team members gain the Knowledge effect, which increases their respective max HP by 3% of Fuxuan's max HP and increases crit rate by 6%. When Fuxuan is knocked down, the Matrix of Prescience will be dispelled. So basically, what this does is it'll taunt and redirect any damage. So even if, let's just say, one of your other teammates, let's just say you have an Acheron, if she gets attacked, 65% of it will be redirected to Fuxuan. Even the 6% crit rate that she provides, it's a big buff that she'll provide to any team, and she has a lot of other ways that she buffs the team in terms of giving them crit damage, which we'll discuss later on. So she provides a lot of value to the team as a buffer. Now moving on to her ultimate, Fuxuan does have a really great ultimate. It's honestly one of my favorite ones. It deals quantum damage equal to 60% of Fuxuan's max HP to all enemies, and obtains one trigger count for the HP restore effect granted by Fuxuan's talent. Finally, for Fuxuan's talent, when Fuxuan is still active in combat, she can apply Misfortune Avoidance for the entire team. With Misfortune Avoidance, allies take 10% less damage. When Fuxuan's current HP falls below 50%, HP Restore will be triggered from Fuxuan, restoring her HP by 80% of the amount she is currently missing. This effect cannot be triggered if she receives a killing blow. The effect possesses one trigger count by default, and can have a maximum of two trigger counts. This talent is really good because it's the main focal point of what gives Fuxuan her sustainability and her ability to constantly survive in tough situations. She is one of the best supports because of this talent and because of her ultimate and the way it works. You can stack up her stacks of HP restore, and then anytime she drops below 50%, she'll activate it and then she'll just rise right back up. So she's soaking up all that damage from your team and then just healing herself and sometimes her team. So she's a really great unit, and she provides a lot of survivability for your team, and you'll notice it a lot right away. You'll notice a difference in any content dramatically. Now, if you remember earlier, I mentioned her being a good support, and I did mention crit damage, but the one thing is, it is locked behind her Eidolons, so her E1 does provide the crit damage by 30%, and her E2 is the one that allows her to one time in battle revive a teammate who is downed. Her other Eidolons are also great. Her E6 basically turns her into a nuke. Now, to give you my final thoughts on whether or not you should pull for Fuxuan, I do think she's a great unit to pull for, and she's still a viable unit in terms of the meta, and she still has a long life ahead of her, so you are more than welcome to pull for her. Just remember to pull wisely and only pull for your favorite, or pull for the units you actually need. That way you are able to have the teams you need for the content in the game. Hopefully this video helped you to make a more informed decision and gave you some more knowledge on Fuxuan and how to build her. If you guys need more help or have any suggestions, please let me know down in the comments. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you very much for watching, and have a great day.